One big change from now from the past is technology will allow us to say, okay, I can still do this task and I don't have to be in a dense city. So I think that I don't think they'll be able to repopulate. And I want to make an even more radical point. In the early part of the 20th century and the late 19th century, we had some terrible pandemics in our urban centers, including places like the Lower East Side of Manhattan. Um, what we did is we cleaned up the city. We made it cleaner. I mean, the filth of the New York subways, it was never excusable, and certainly not excusable now. But at the same time, I think one of the things that we have to keep in mind is that population density is part of the problem. It's going to be a problem with social distancing. But remember, in 1920, Manhattan had 2.4 million people. By 1950, it had 1.5 million people. Major cities around the world did depopulate for a long time. They only recently started to flatten and maybe gain a little bit of population. I think that in many ways, these cities will be more livable if they are less dense. And in the case of New York, in particular, and my family's originally from Brooklyn. Um, I would argue that the New York economy would benefit if more of the jobs were scattered throughout the boroughs, so people didn't have to ride the subway all the time to get to work.